Hey guys, today we're going to be doing what if Raditz never came to Earth? So the way Raditz never comes to Earth is, the North Galaxy, I think, is where most of the most of the story, I guess, of Dragon Ball Z takes place. And it's a whole galaxy, it's gigantic, so it's not that unbelievable that Raditz would never end up coming across Earth on his search for Goku since the galaxy is so huge. The only things he would be able to go off of would be like obviously it's not gonna be a planet that Frieza is in control of, and it probably is a planet with a low power level, of generally low power level. So he only has that to go off of, which I'm guessing is at least a few thousand planets are like that. So I'm pretty sure he would never be able to find Goku, and it kind of makes sense. So, yeah, this means that at the point where Raditz comes into the story in canon, Goku and even Piccolo never finds out that he's a Namekian. He just thinks he's like a demon, basically, and Goku still thinks he's a human at this point, and I'm gonna say that Piccolo probably ends up trying to defeat Goku and take over the world. Around the same time, or maybe a bit after. Let's just say it's around the same time that Raditz attacks. Like Piccolo just comes and kidnaps Gohan, and then they end up having a fight. Let's say Piccolo wins this time because he blasts Gohan, which gets Goku distracted, and then he hits Goku with a special beam cannon, which just kills him like in canon, but directly he's trying to kill Goku this time. And I think that he would probably also kidnap Gohan like last time. He'd try and train him, but I don't think he would be able to actually convince Gohan into becoming like his apprentice, since Gohan literally saw him murder his dad, Goku, so it wouldn't really make any sense for him to be able to convince him. So that happens. I think that Goku would probably still end up going to King Kai and training and everything like that. They'd probably end up gathering the Dragon Balls and bringing Goku back to life. And the one who tells Goku about he's a Saiyan and his backstory and everything would probably be King Kai in this instance. I think he would tell him about Raditz as well, but he'd probably tell him not to go anywhere near Raditz. It's not a good idea. So he'd learn that he's a Saiyan and all that stuff, and Frieza and everything, but King Kai would tell him to avoid it. So he'd go back to Earth after training with King Kai. They'd summon him back, revive him. I think Piccolo would be too occupied with trying to take over the world and train Gohan, which obviously training Gohan wasn't working. Um, to actually notice that they summoned Shenron, so they bring Goku back to life. He comes back. He ends up having a epic battle with Piccolo again, but this time he uses like Kaioken and maybe even the Spirit Bomb, and he ends up defeating Piccolo. He gets his son back, and yeah, he's also not really willing to mess around because Piccolo kidnapped his son and killed him this time, so he's angry. And yeah, he ends up probably not killing Piccolo because, Kami and everything. So he probably doesn't kill Piccolo, but I guess, like, seals him away. Probably is what he does. He probably seals him away. And he never bothers them ever again. Because I doubt that he would even want for him to come on to their side or anything like that. It would kind of be like Frieza, but not to that extent of how much Goku would be angry at him, I guess. I don't think he would actually try and kill him this time. He would seal him away because he doesn't want to kill Kami. So moving forward from that, after this, I think that life would basically go on as normal. Like, Gohan and Goku and Chi-Chi would live a happy life. Gohan would grow up having a normal, well, relatively normal childhood. Um, yeah, it would be just happy ever after, I guess, of the story. It would be pretty simple life. Yeah. Uh, I mean, Raditz is a very important character to the actual plot of Dragon Ball. He revealed a lot to the characters, and him never appearing would change quite a bit of the story, I would think. So, yeah, Piccolo would probably end up being the final villain of the series. If not, then if he's not the final villain, like they just defeat Piccolo, seal him away, and then they live like a peaceful life and everything. Goku obviously will still be training, but not as frequently. Then Cell would probably still happen. Like Cell would, either Cell would end up being created and activated and everything. Like he would come back in time and defeat everybody, or he would not not even need to be in the story Cell, because the androids would probably be enough to kill all the Z fighters at that point, because they had not been training anywhere near as much as before. Goku probably hasn't even learned Super Saiyan 1 at this point, because he doesn't need to. He's just training like on and off a few times a week basically for a few years. So yeah, like Tien and Chaozu and Yamcha and everybody nowhere near strong enough to defeat the androids at that point. So yeah, the androids probably end up killing them and taking over. Vegeta wouldn't be there obviously, and Nappa wouldn't have come there. Vegeta and Nappa, they wouldn't have ever went to Earth. Frieza probably wouldn't have ever went to Earth anyways, because it's just some random planet. They have loads to conquer. So yeah, Earth would just kind of be left alone to happen. It kind of be like what happened in Trunks' future timeline, where the androids basically take control and kill everybody. It would be something like that, pretty similar. Just there would be no Trunks, so the world would be taken over by androids and destroyed. Like they'd kill everybody. That's probably what would happen. So yeah, and I would say that's probably the end of the story. That like just that would be the end. Maybe eventually Frieza, like the Frieza Force, just comes over and takes over the planet and does whatever, sells the planet or anything like that. Whatever they usually do with the random planets that the Frieza Force takes over. And yeah, Earth would just be pretty much lifeless, just living, just being there, and be under the Frieza Force's control. So yeah, I think this is what would happen if Raditz never came to Earth. And yeah, bye guys.